This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing you a brand new company, and when I say that, he was actually on my show about 2 years ago. We're talking about Argentum 47 Inc. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol ARGQ, and you're talking about an undervalued company. Look no further than this company. They're trading at about a little over half a cent, but they've got some great things going on. They acquired two financial firms about totally managing about $90 million. And with us today to talk about his company is no other than the president and CEO, Peter Smith. Peter, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Everett. Very nice to be here, and thanks for inviting me back again.
You know, give my listeners an about statement of what you guys are all about and who you are.
Well, right now we're about a full-service financial services company. So what does that mean? That means that on one hand, we still have our traditional go public offering, whereby we help companies go public, advise them through various stages of whether it's in the States, the UK, Central Europe, and that business is something we've been in for 10 years. The problem with that business is it takes a long time to execute on a transaction. So what we've done in the meantime, we reverted back to a business that we were in many years ago, and we've gone back into retail and corporate financial services, which means that we are now acquiring retail financial services entities, financial brokers, if you will, in the UK and Southeast Asia, which is giving us monies under management, which has given us regular income, which has given us a great profile in the market. But more importantly, it's supplementing our other side of the business. So rather than being very, very targeted in our approach 5, 7, 10 years ago, just looking at the go public market, we still look at go public. But on the opposite side now, we have a bit more of a scattergun approach, whereby instead of targeting one person, we're targeting hundreds and thousands of individuals and corporations. And in that process, we have come across an acquisition program, or we have built an acquisition program, and we are currently acquiring financial services businesses. As I said, that will give us revenue, that will give us funds under management. It will give us ongoing revenue, but it'll also give us profit. That lovely word, profit, right, in financial markets.
Well, let's talk about your recent acquisition, Cheshire and Trafford, and the appointed representative agreement. Can you bring us up to speed on that?
Yeah, well, Cheshire Trafford was very much a sleeping giant in the UK. They're a relatively small firm. They have 700 clients. Should I say we now have 700 clients. We have best part of $40 million US dollars under management with Cheshire Trafford. And this is a business that we acquired just this summer. We've been working on it for over a year, which now, again, gives us that different scope, A, for go public clients, but B, for more importantly, for that recurring revenue potential to invest in new deals, and back to the same word, profit. Our plan for Cheshire Trafford is not just to look at what we have, not just to look at the 40 million, the 700 clients and say, yeah, isn't that good? Our plan is to build this business exponentially. And in doing that, we have recently signed an LOI with a company called Aurum Wealth Management. And Aurum Wealth are to be an appointed representative of Cheshire Trafford. So what does that mean? It basically means that Aurum Wealth, all of their business, all of their transactions, all of their sales, all of their revenue will be processed by Cheshire Trafford. Cheshire Trafford has the license, it has the presence, it has the profile, and it has the systems. So it's a great partnership. We're going to help build Aurum Wealth, and in turn, by building Aurum Wealth, of course, we're going to build Cheshire Trafford. So it's a milestone development for our business. Are you guys doing any new funding agreements that you're currently looking at? We are, Everett. We've got a couple of funding agreements announced to the market. Those funding agreements have been partly executed on in some ways, and that execution continues. But now we're looking at other financial partners. We're in talks with three different groups for further funding agreements. The fact that we've acquired Cheshire Trafford and made such massive steps with the business so soon after acquisition, it's put us on people's radar. So now the terms and conditions that we can look at should be more favorable to us. But more importantly, we've got a much wider market. So, yep, we're in talks with 2 or 3 other potential funders, and hopefully in the next month or two, certainly in Q4, we hope to put pen to paper with 1 or 2 of these funders, and then continue on with the next stages of the acquisition program.
Let's change gears here just for a second, Peter. Your market cap's only at $3.1 million. You're managing funds maybe up to $90 million. Your stock price is just a tad bit over a half cent. I know you can't comment on fair value or anything like that, but what do you want the investors to take away from this interview, and how you guys are so undervalued here? Well,
when you tell me, Everett, that the market cap is what it is and the stock price, I don't know whether you want me to laugh or cry. For us, it's an enigma.
Yes.
At times that you talk about a business that does have a good balance sheet, that does have assets, and now is clearly demonstrated that it's performing acquisitions and really starting to develop. So we've always perceived we were undervalued. Now I would have to say we are undervalued to extreme. I think you apply any matrix to what we have within this business, the market cap, the value would come out greatly higher than what it is. So we're hoping that rectifies itself. We think it will rectify itself by continually informing the markets of the great activity we've got. So I think the takeaway is that, the word undervalued is a word that I use probably 10, 15 times a day with great conviction. It's, as I said, I don't know whether it's a laugh or cry at times.
Let's talk about M&A. A lot of companies that are on the OTC just can't afford really M&A because either they don't have any money in the bank or their stock's very undervalued. How are you guys going to go forward and bring some of that into the pipeline?
Well, we do still have funding agreements that have not been executed on. And we do have new funding agreements that we are looking to execute on. And the reason why people will invest in size in our acquisition program is the quality of the acquisitions. And just to give you a quick sort of 20-second profile of that, we're buying businesses for 3 times the annual guaranteed income. So if a business is going to make $1 guaranteed income, we'll give them $3, but we'll only give them $1 today, $1 in a year and a half, $1 in 3 years. The reality is we can probably turn that guaranteed income to a $1.50, maybe $2 in some instances. So the offering to the market really is a no-brainer, and it's because of their offering that we're having people come to us with alternative funding arrangements. And really, we can build this company as big as our ambition allows us, and that's pretty big. All we're dependent on is new funding lines, and with the funding lines we are contemplating at the moment, there's no reason why this business doesn't have in excess of $1 billion under management at some point in the near future. Of course, that does depend on getting the funding lines in, executing on those contracts, but that's the short-term target, Everett. That's where we're looking to take this baby.
You've been listening to Peter Smith. He is the CEO and president of Argentum 47 Inc. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol ARGQ. Very undervalued here at a half a cent if you're looking to get into financial services and consultation. In closing, is there anything, Peter, that we didn't get a chance to touch upon that you would like to illustrate to my listeners?
I think we touched upon all the main points, but the big point, Everett, is really is watch this space. There's some fantastic things in the pipeline, mainly in and around new acquisition and development of existing acquisition, i.e. Cheshire Trafford. We think Argentum 47 is going to be one of the success stories of 2019.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully you'll come back on 40 or 50 days, give us an update of what's going on with your company and hopefully some acquisitions.
Fantastic. Always a pleasure, Everett.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.